In this video, you're going to learn how to change the width settings. So if you take a look in the width Figma style guide page, you can see the preview of all the ACSS sizing tokens that we have at our disposal. On top, we have the width tokens for the mobile, and in the bottom, we have a width sizing ACSS tokens for a desktop variation. If we zoom in, we can see the name, the values, and a visual representation of those values. What's important for you to know is that all of those width values are based on the content width. The content width is the width that surrounds the content of your website. And every other width sizing token uses the content width value, except that it's also using some mathematical functions to calculate different sizes. So if you take a look in the Token Studio plugin, and if we open the sizing ACSS category and expand the widths, you can actually see that the content width is a fixed value of 1280 pixels. For example, the width 50% uses the D content width /2. So it's an exact half value of the D content width. Let's take a look at, for example, D width large. If you hover, we can see the mathematical equation. It multiplies the content width with 0.6, which equals to 768 pixels. So in essence, if we want to make changes to our width tokens, all I have to do is simply change the content width. And how do I do that? I simply search for SS settings, D for desktop, and immediately when I start typing a letter C as for the content, you can actually see that the only available token here is the SD content width. If I command left click the token, I can change the value from 1280 pixels to whatever I want. Let's make it a little bit smaller. I will zoom out so you have a preview of what's happening here. So if I change this value to 1000, for example, I click on save, you can actually see how everything got smaller. If I make this value a little bit bigger, for example, 1400, click on save, you can see how everything got bigger. But it only relates to the desktop, right? Because we can change the mobile as well. So I'm going to change the SD content width back to 1280 pixels, click on save. And now let's see how can I change the mobile. So instead of having SD content width, I'm going with SM content width. And if I change this default value from 390 to something like 300, you can see the change in a visual representation and also the values. I'm going back with 390, click on save, and that's basically how you change the widths.